Hello guys, here we have a Python problem, and in this Python problem our objective is to use a function to print the second line present in the file, and if there is no second line or the file does not exist, I want to return none. Okay, so what we have to use here is we have to use some exception handling as well as the file handling, because I am going to open a file and I have to read the lines. Okay, so the file handling concept, and I have to use some try and except blocks there to suppress the error. Okay, what if there is no second line? It will generate a error. What if there is some file not found error? So there will be some exceptions generated, and I want to suppress those using the try and except blocks. Okay, so let's start that. But before we start, I would like to request you all to pause this video here and give it a try by yourself. And if you stuck at somewhere, then you can continue watching this video to get the clear concept of this problem. Okay, so let's start guys. So first thing, I am going to create a text file. Okay, and on that file I will write some lines of text there. Okay, just to check the program which I am going to write here. So okay, so let's first create a file. I am going to create a no, I am not going to create a Python 3, sorry. I have to create a text file. Okay, let's give 3 lines here. This is the first line. Okay, then I will just copy paste this, Control C, Control V, Control V. This is our second line, so I will write it second, and this is our third line. Okay, and I am going to save this file as checkfile.txt, right? So the file name is going to be checkfile.txt. Okay, and now I will save this by pressing the Control and S button, Control S. Now the file is saved. Okay, and I can even check that here. See, here in this folder I have this check file. Okay, and I have written something here. See, okay, so the file is created. Now I am going to open that file. I will show you something before I move on with the program. Okay, let's first open this file. F is equals to open. F is going to be the object, okay, where I am going to read something, and the file name is checkfile.txt, the file name, and the operation we are going to perform. Like I am going to read, so I am going to write here R. Okay, by default it will be a read operation, but I am specifying that I am going to read that file. And guys, before you move on this program, I hope that you all have the clear understanding of file handling. Okay, because if you don't know that concept, it will be a problem to understand this problem. Okay, like what is open and what is this parameter and what is R here. So you must have the concept of file handling before you go on with this problem. So I am opening a file. Now I am going to read the first line. So what I have to do is read line. Okay, now let's see what we are getting. Okay, I have got the first line. See, this is the first line, and if I want to print the second line, I can write f dot read line. Okay, see, this is the second line. This line is printing the second line. Okay, I can confirm that by using the print before this code, print f dot read line. All right, see, the number of times I am writing this read line, it will give you the next value next time. Okay, so the first read line is giving me the first line, the second read line is giving me the second line. But how we are going to get the second line only? Because I have to use some condition, whether second line is present or not. So how we can do that? So we are not going to use f dot read line. Okay, we have another function here, that is read lines. So read lines will give you all the lines present in that file. So I have the first line, second line, as well as the third line. So f dot read lines will give you a list. See, we are getting a list. The square brackets are present there. Okay, so we are getting a list of all the lines. So if I want to get the first line, I can give the index 0 like this. So this is the first line. So if I want to get the second line, I can give the index 1. This is the second line. And if I want to print the third line, I can give the index 2. So this is the second line. Okay, so we have got all the lines. Now what we have to do is just to use this block of code inside the try block. Okay, but before we move on that, let's check if the file does not exist, what type of error we are going to get. Okay, so let's change the file name. It's check.txt. okay, we don't have such kind of file in our directory, so we are going to get some error. So let's check what is the error. Let me comment this, and I'm going to open a file which does not exist. Okay, now let's see. Okay, we have got this file not found error, and I'm going to note that here. Okay, because we will be using this file not found error. Okay, and what if there is no second line? What if there is no second line? What kind of error we are going to get? Let's check that. See, we have only 3 lines here. Okay, and what if I just say, let's say I want to print the 4th line, and the 4th line does not exist here. Okay, so let's see what kind of error we are going to get here. Okay, we are going to get index error. It means if there is no second line, we are going to get index error. Okay, so I am writing this error also because I will be using these errors in the except block. Okay, so these 2 kinds of error we are going to get. Okay, we may get these kinds of error. Okay, we are not sure whether the file will have the second line or not, whether file exists or not, then we will have to use those cases accordingly. Now let's move on with the program. Okay, so let's write the function first, because the problem itself states that you have to define a function, and in that function you have to pass the file name. Okay, so let's define using the def keyword. I'm going to read some lines from the function. So the function name would be read function, and the parameter name file. Now I will try something here. Okay, try what I want to try. I want to create a f type object, let's say, and I want to open the file passed comma the read mode. Okay, R specifies that you are going to perform some read operation, and I want to read the second line. So let's say sec underscore line, and in sec line what I am going to do is I am going to read the second line. Okay, so how I am going to read? F dot read lines, and at index 1 I have the second line. Okay, what I have to do is I have to use the if condition. If sec line okay, if sec line means if I have got the second line, then what I have to do is just return what I want to return sec line. Okay, return the second line. That's it. Now I want to give some exceptions also, because if there is no second line, the error will be raised as index error. Okay, and if there is no file, let's say no such file exists, then the error will be raised as file not found error. Okay, so let's create an exception for that. File not found error. If such exception is raised, what I want to print, I want to return something, right? So return none, right? One more exception is required here, and what is that? Except the index error. Okay, index error, that's it. And here you want to return none value again. Okay, now the program is complete. All you have to do is just call the function. Let's first take the input. Let's say the variable name is file name, and in this variable you want to take the input from the user. Okay, enter the file name, that's it. And now you want to call your function, read function, and pass the variable which is file name, because file name is holding the value given by the user, right? Now let's run this program and see whether we are getting the correct output or not. Okay, everything is right. Let's enter the file name, and as you can see, the file name is checkfile.txt. okay, so let's pass the file name checkfile.txt and let's enter. All right, we are getting the second line because we have the second line here. Okay, now let's give some different file name which does not exist. Okay, so in that case it must return some none value, right? So let's run this again and let's see checkfile.txt. okay, we don't have any file called checkfile, so in that case I must get some none value here, and let's see whether we are getting that or not. See, we are getting the none value. Okay, so we have written a correct code here, but let's change this none value to something more meaningful, like if the file does not exist, it must print that file not found. Okay, in that case it must print file not found, and if there is some index error, it means there is no second line. I can say that second line does not exist, correct, like this. Now let's run this again. checkfile.txt and let's enter file not found, and that is the output which we must get. Okay, now let's edit this file, and I am going to delete the second and third line. Okay, so I am deleting that, and Control S, I have saved the file. Now let's run this file again and let's see what is the output now. In this case I am giving the index 1, it means I want to retrieve the second line, but here in our file we don't have any second line in this case, so it will raise the index error, means you have given the index error which does not exist. Okay, you are going out of range, so in that case this exception will be raised. Okay, the exception index error, so I must get the output that second line does not exist. Okay, now let's run this and see. Check file, this is the file name txt. Let's run this. See, we are getting the proper output which states that second line does not exist. So this is the proper code to write this program for this problem. Okay, so we have successfully written down all the programs for this problem. I hope you guys have got the clear idea of this problem. Hope you have liked this. If you have liked this, you can subscribe to this channel, because I will come up with more problems on Python. So you can subscribe to this channel. I will see you up in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye bye.